Alright everybody, welcome back to some more Umineko when they cry. Now, um I'm gonna I don't know how much left there is of this chapter. Not this episode, not episode 4, but of this specific chapter of episode 4, because we've been on this chapter for a while now, and I'm assuming we're nearing the very end of episode 4 here. We still don't really know what's going on with Angie's story, so I bet we're gonna go back to Angie first before we finish the whole episode, is what I'm guessing. Um, but yeah, the aim for this part is to finish this chapter, but before we do that, I do need to talk about a certain thing that I'm sure at least the ones of you who comment avidly under my videos will know that I was going to address this time. Um, so let's start by saying this is all related to Umineko, by the way. If you're only here for me reading Umineko, then you can just skip ahead. If you're only here for my reaction and all that stuff, then go ahead. But what I'm going to be talking about now is regarding how I read Umineko and how I treat how I see I guess my viewer base. You guys watching this, me reading Umineko. So yeah, if you're specifically only here for my reaction to Mineko and you don't care about any of my thoughts regarding how I read Mineko, then skip ahead. That's fine. Feel free. And that actually brings me to my first point of what I'm going to talk about, and that is I hope you guys just enjoy watching these videos, you know what I mean? In whatever way you wanna enjoy these videos, you know what I mean? If you're only here to see my reactions to things, right? You don't care about my theories or my thoughts, would actually be kind of weird because I do spend a good chunk of time talking about my thoughts and theories and all that. And I guess there's a bit of reactions here and there too. But I mean, if you're mainly here for reactions and nothing else, then I bet you're probably, just skipping around. Which, hey, that's the whole thing. If you enjoy doing that, then do that. Props to you. I mean, what? Hey, however you use my videos for entertainment, yo. I mean, if you're bored as hell out of my videos and you use them to go to sleep or for ASMR reasons, whatever it is, go ahead. Use my videos for ASMR and go to sleep. I mean, I do not think I have a soothing voice, but if you somehow find my voice soothing, you can go to sleep with my voice. I don't know, or well, listen to me talk about it. Go ahead. You go ahead and do that. You do whatever you want. If you want to, I don't know, use my audio. Well, I mean, if you're gonna use my audio for different, I don't know, whatever it is you wanna do with this video. If you find entertainment from it, right? Go ahead. Alright. I mean, that is the most important part for me. And that is why when I end an Umineko part, I'll always say that I hope you guys enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed reading it. I will always say, well, I won't always say this, I'll be honest. That's a lie. But, I say it when I can, whenever I remember, and I usually do. And I mean it. I don't, it's not just like an outro thing that I say because, haha, I need to have a specific outro, specific intro or whatever. I don't really have that. I just kind of impulsively do it. And I say it because I mean it because I do think, you know, if you found at least some sort of enjoyment from the video, then for me that's great. That's all I really aim to do, to be honest. So yeah. Now, regarding what I'm supposed to be talking about. So last part, I don't know if you guys heard that, by the way. That was just me. I was charging my tablet, and it made a brrrr sound because I took off the USB stick. Anyway, just put this here. Anyway, so between last part and this part, it's been a couple of days since I last recorded the Minako part, and the reason of that is because I've been very busy with university. So I hope you guys can accept that. If not, then too bad. This is where I unfortunately will have to put a stamp where there are things I'm open for any feedback you guys have towards how I make my videos and all that stuff, I'm open for that. But there are things that I will have to put a limit on. All right. If I'm too busy doing uni to be recording videos, then I'm too busy doing uni to record videos. All right. I will not let you guys force me to make videos. I'll just say this right now. That is something I am dead set on. Because I do this for fun, okay? And if I'm too stressed to do uni work to make a video, or if I don't have time, I won't be doing it. All right. So if you're gonna go in the comments and say, for example, well, if you say, "Oh, Amin, don't worry, uh, take care of yourself." To yourself more than reading Neko, we can wait or something like that. I want to say in response to that, don't worry, I am taking care of myself. I will absolutely put myself over doing something that is for fun, because ultimately it's for fun. This is something that I do when I have time for fun, and if I can't do it exactly every single day, then then that's just how it is. But and I know this visual novel is long, and I know, like I'm doing right now, babbling. It's gonna take a long time for me to finish reading it, but we'll get there slowly but surely. We gotta be patient. We're not impatient. Why? Besides, if it finishes too quickly, then it's all lost. Imagine I'm now done reading episode 8, then what's the point? Then what's next? You know what I mean? I mean, I guess the next thing to do is read, well, Higurashi, or what was the other one? There's a new When They Cry series, right? Kikonia? I don't really know how to pronounce it. I guess that's the next step. Now I'm joking. But why don't we want the greatness to last forever? This is good, right? This is good. This is a good mentality to have. But anyway, yeah. So between parts, first things first, I got a lot of comments, and I had a lot of homework to do. Well, as in, when I say homework, but I mean in the context of Umineko, because I have to write down all the red truths and blue truths, and last part had a lot of red and blue truths, a lot of them. So if you add up the time it took me to write down all the red and blue truths down on my notes, and all the time it took for me to read all of your comments and respond to all of your comments, uh, during that time I definitely could have recorded at least another Umineko video. So that's how long it took me. Just to give you guys a time estimate, I definitely put up over a solid hour just respond to your comments and writing down all the truths. Um, but I got some very great feedback, a lot of feedback last part, regarding some things I said that I want to discuss right here really quickly, before we finish this part. And I mean, I wrote down this behemoth of a comment, a really, really long comment. I think it's probably the longest comment I've ever written on my channel, which took me a while to write. I mean, that comment alone probably took me at least 20 minutes to write or something. I was just writing and writing and writing and writing. So it took me a really long time to write that comment. It was in response to this feedback or criticism or whatever you want to call it, really. That is obviously very welcome. I've said this on multiple occasions that I find any criticism you guys have towards the way I do things to be very much welcome. I do not really. I do not want you guys to shy away from that. If you think I could improve in some way, in a way that I can actively work towards, you know what I mean. If it's impossible, then it's impossible. But if it's something I can work towards, then yeah, I'm sure. So, first things first, yeah, I've done my homework. I've written down all the red and blue truths, which I guess counts as recapping last part, right? Basically, where Beato uh, guilted, well, I mean, not guilt, but made Batter convinced that he never existed, and then he disappeared because he wasn't Asumi's son. He still has not proved that he's not. She still hasn't proved that he's not Kinzo's son or Rudolph's son or Kinzo's grandchild. But I guess she has said that you are not Asumi's son in red. So, but Ushiroma Batter is Asumi's son. There's two facts that we know. Ushiroma Batter is not Asumi's son, and that you are not Asumi's son. Wait, no wait. The two facts we know are that Yoshiromi Battler is Asumi's son, and you are not Asumi's son. Those are two facts that we know, and they are kind of contradicting. But if the use referring to the battler that we know, quote unquote, then they are contradicting statements. There might be something underlying on that, but we won't get into discussing that right now. We shall be discussing something that I said last part, and what I said last part was that I said something, and that I now realized it might be bad wording. And I guess we can start with the way I hate on Beato. So I still hate Beato, by the way. Oh, as if. She sucks as a person. Okay, so I'm not calling her a bad character. I don't think. Actually, yeah, there definitely isn't a single bad character in Umineko. I don't. There's definitely not. Um, there's so far at least there's been irrelevant side characters. Sure, I mean we've barely Okonogi hasn't really been that relevant. Kasumi might be more relevant as we go. I don't know. Uh, didn't the other relatives are pretty relevant. Nanjo's son has been mentioned and shown for the first mentioned for the first time in episode 1 in his character files, but now finally shown. He's done his thing, but it's been irrelevant. I mean, otherwise, I mean, throughout the whole scope of the story, Kumasawa's grandson was he or son, whatever. He's also been pretty relevant. Um, but I mean, that doesn't make them bad characters. You know what I mean? And besides, we're only on episode 4. We haven't seen the full depth of their characters, and they don't need to be important characters. Not every character in a story, even if they're named characters, needs to be super important and vital to the plot and needs to contribute a huge amount. They can just be a background character that adds a certain background piece to, let's say, a murder mystery like this one. Oh yeah, I'd know about irrelevant side characters. I've seen my fair share of those, so Umineko is definitely not one to go after when it comes to that, at least so far. Um, so Beato as a character is good. Um, she's a good character. I know, right? That's crazy. I mean, he's saying something about Beato is good. I'm calling her a good character. A character that I dislike as a person, or that I disagree with morally, is not necessarily a bad character. I think this should be kind of obvious. I don't, but I just want to make sure that it's clear, it's out there. For example, my favorite villain, at least when you're talking in anime, would be Johann Liebert from Monster. And I'll tell you what, that man is a monster. That guy's a piece of crap. He's a serial killer. He's a serial killer. I morally disagree with him and his actions and what he stood for and what he did. I absolutely disagree with him. But was he a brilliant character? A genius character? Yes! A character that every time he was on screen, I felt a certain scary aura about him. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. And I did not like him. I dislike Johan. I love Johan in the way that he makes me dislike him. It's contradicting, but that's how a lot good villains work for me. Doflamingo from One Piece is another good example of a villain that is just I hate him. I actually hate Doflamingo. He's a piece of crap, but dang do I love his character and the character's how he came to be, his motivations, his backstory, everything is so genius. And that is what I'm hoping Beto's gonna be, by the way. This is this is what I'm hoping. This is what I'm hoping from Beto. If Beto becomes like Doflamingo, oh, unreal levels. Doflamingo was genius. Okay, so unfortunately we haven't seen it much from Beto's. I'm sure we will eventually, but we don't know much about Beto. I mean, she's still got this mysterious alert to her, so we're just kind of staring at a blank. Well, no, she's not really blank. She's shown multiple sides of herself, but yeah. Um, so let's just want to say that. Um, of course, Rose is another good example. Actually, Rose is a good example. Uh, mm, mm, Rose is interesting. Rose is interesting because I like her as a person, but I also like her as a character. As in, she's probably, I mean, yeah, she's definitely my favorite character so far. But I do disagree with her on some of the ways that she's obviously been parroting Maria. Depending on how much we've seen is true or not, that's for us to decide, I guess. Um, for Rosa, yes, that's a more complicated one to discuss. But I definitely will say I like her character. I love her character. Um, and while I can't agree with everything she's done, I can sympathize with how things came to be that way for her. At least I'll just say that much for now. I think she's a great character, though. Um, anyway, I don't want to keep babbling on about different characters. We can keep naming characters. I mean, Eva. Eva is another big one, but we will leave it there. Uh, Point is, there is that distinction I want to make, and the second this thing I wanted to mention is that um, yeah, I hate Beato, and I want her to lose to Battler because I don't think she deserves the victory in the slightest. I think she should lose and get the good taste of defeat, and also because I love Battler so much, I really want Battler to win. Incompetent or not, you can call him incompetent in red. I don't care. Battler will win. And for Battler to win, he has to deny magic and prove that things can be done in human ways. Now I've kind of inserted myself with Battler, so you'll realize a lot of times when I'm talking the visual novel, you'll realize a lot of times that when I say, "Oh, that's my dad," or "Oh, he said this about my sister," or "He said this about my cousin," or something like that, I'm talking as if I'm Battler. My sister, Angie. My cousin, George, for example. My father, I'll say Rudolph. Right? Obviously, they're not my real life family, but that's what I mean when I say my. I'll I'll be very clear in the distinction for when I'm talking about Battler's family or my own family, but typically, yeah, it should be obvious in the context of when I'm talking. Um, So, yeah, and that's because I like to insert myself as a main character. And this is something I do with every single story ever. I even did this with stuff like Echo Geass, Death Note, and Attack on Titan, where obviously the main characters are morally heavily questionable. I mean, Eren Yeager is, I think, I want to say, hopefully, most of us don't agree with his actions, but I still inserted myself in Aaron's character and was able to sympathize with him, even though I heavily, I just want to specify, when I say sympathize, I still heavily disagree with what he did. Heavily am against it. Heavily, obviously, right? Uh, like Hanji was saying in Attack on Titan, genocide is not the answer. But anyway, moving on, that is Attack on Titan is a whole its own political, if you want, philosophical, both political and philosophical discussion that we'll just leave right there. Please do not mention Attack on Titan. Let's leave it there. But I do like to insert myself as the main character because the story is told typically with the main character being the main character because they're the main character. Not every story ever has a main character. That's important to know. There are some stories where multiple characters get a lot of focus. Um, I think in a way Fairy Tail is a good example. Yes, I have watched Fairy Tail. Yes, it was years ago. I was young. Leave me be, please. But Fairy Tail, while Natsu technically is the main character, and I did insert myself as Natsu when I was a kid watching. This is just something I do kind of subconsciously, by the way. Well, when I was a kid, I used to do this unconsciously. I wasn't even aware I was doing it until I grew older and became more understanding of how I thought about things. I realized, oh wow, I'm doing this. Um, but sometimes I also insert myself as a side character. But anyway, we're leaving that discussion there for now. Um, so I inserted myself what was I just talking about? Which character? Natsu, right? Yeah. But with Fairy Tail, it feels more like the whole guild of Fairy Tail is the main character. As in the guild itself, the Fairy Tail itself is the main character, which is what made Fairy Tail work so well. So whenever there was a Fairy Tail member losing a fight, I would immediately insert myself as that character and be like, "Come on, I'll win this. I can do this." You know what I mean? So even if it wasn't Natsu, I would still support them as if it was me in a way. It's hard to explain, but Fairy Tail does a good job of doing that, and and I guess I should just mention it, right? I mean, I was bound to mention it at some point. One Piece, of course. But One Piece is different from Fairy Tail because One Piece makes a very, very clear distinction that Luffy is the main character. Yes, Fairy Tail does also make it very clear that Naruto is the main character. It's not much of a debate. With Luffy, it's even less so. There's no debate that he's the main character. However, One Piece does a good job of making it feel like the Straw Hats in general are the main characters. So whenever something bad happens to the Straw Hat, I'm always supporting them all the way, whether it's Chopper or Brook or Nami or Sanji or Usopp or anyone else in the crew. I will support them all the way, as if they were the main characters, because One Piece does a good job doing that. Even the ship, bro, the Going Merry or the Sunny, I'll support them all the way through, even if they're a ship. One Piece, the only story to ever make me almost cry, so close to crying over the inanimate object. So, a ship, yo, a ship, unbelievable. Anyway, I digressed a bit there. But the point is, with Battler, I want to be him and help him out. And what really helps is me liking the main character. Now, is this a healthy way of enjoying stories? Maybe in some stories it's not the best way to do things. I want to say that despite me doing how I do things, I want to say that I'm still able to, sympathize with villains like Johann Lieber, for example. I'm still able to um, get along with villains, even if the main character hates the villain and I hate the villain along with him. I still want to say that I can try to understand villains and try to understand where they come from, even though typically they're portrayed as bad people. Not in every story ever. So in some stories, obviously the villains are portrayed as morally grey, and the main characters equally morally grey. In Attack on Titan, this becomes very apparent in season 4. So anyway, again, not no Attack on Titan talk. Um, but yes, um, the visual novel Umineko is the first story I've ever read where it has so actively challenged me to try and solve it, to try and solve this visual novel, to try and solve the riddle. Who pulled the murders? What's been going on these last 4 episodes, etc., etc. Right? And I want to do that too. But I feel like if I have this one view, this very narrow view where I don't see anything else, but if I only try to solve things using human logic, by saying, oh yeah, okay, so a human could do this and therefore he could do that. If I only try to do that, I feel like I'm looking at things very narrowly and I won't arrive at any near speck of an answer. So here's what we gotta do then, right? We gotta take this Angie appeal, because this is why Angie is such a big helper to Battler, because Battler is taking that narrow appeal. Battler is not taking any sort of shot to look at the other perspective, and the reason why Battler isn't doing that is because Battler can't afford to do that. If Battler does that, he loses automatically. The only person who can afford to look at the other side of things is Gretel or Angie. So we gotta have that Angie perspective. But does that mean me and Angie's goals are the same? Depends. Depends on what Angie's goal really is. I mean, for a while, it wasn't she herself wasn't sure what her goal was. She was saying, "I'm going to Rockinjima. I don't even know what my answer is, but I feel like if I go there, I'll find my answer." So I don't know what Angie's goal really is. You know what I mean? So, what Angie's goal does she want? She just wants to beat Beato. We'll see. I think that's what I mean. I think we'll arrive to a conclusion of that at the end of this episode. We'll see. Um, but, but, um, moving on. We gotta see things from multiple perspectives and solve the riddle, solve the visual novel. And the reason why I know I have to do this is because of the infamous line that you guys keep repeating in videos, that I kept repeating myself, that the visual novel has kept repeating. And that is the whole thing that You need love to be able to see the truth. Without love, it cannot be seen. The truth cannot be seen. Right? This is a big thing that has been going on since a while now. That you gotta be able to see it with love. Um, and the biggest interpretations. I mean, I'm sure there's multiple interpretations. The biggest one we've seen so far is that when you have love for something, or when you're able to sympathize or see things from another perspective, you're going to be able to understand it better. But to do that, you need love, if that makes sense. Um, Now, obviously, that doesn't have to be the correct interpretation. If there is a correct interpretation, that is just how it's been portrayed so far in the visual novel. It is how I've interpreted it being portrayed in the visual novel. I think that's the correct wording to say there, because you guys might see it differently, and that's the beauty of it, and that's why we discuss it, and maybe we can arrive at a certain conclusion. Who knows? Um, so, um, because of this really central theme in Umineko, I know that okay, I gotta see things from their perspective. I can't just be stubborn and only stay with Battler forever and not care about solving the riddle, right? Staying with Battler, if you guys notice, Battler has never made an active attempt to solve the riddle. Has Battler made an active attempt to solve the riddle, or the or Umineko so far? No. I mean, he's made an attempt to try to find out who the culprit is, but how has he done that? He's done that by only trying to explain it in human ways. Now, of course, that's the only thing he can afford to do. Not Angie though, but that's the only thing he can afford to do. So he can keep doing that. But for me though, the visual novel has challenged me to solve the real truth, if there is one, behind what's really happening, behind what's supposed to be happening. And therefore, I cannot be stuck in Battler's mindset, especially if we take into account this sentence, "Without love, it cannot be seen." I gotta start going, going to going to do things some other way. But as contradicting as it might be, that doesn't mean that I'll stop supporting Battler, right? And this is what I meant last part when I said that I don't care whether magic exists or not. And this is what I think you guys in the comments might have misinterpreted, and might have mm, might have taken it the wrong way. And that is, whatever the truth may be, right? It doesn't matter if magic exists or not. That doesn't mean I don't care about whether it exists or not. I do care about whether magic exists or not. I do care about solving the riddle. I do care about, understanding what's going on. I don't think I'll be able to on my own, at least. I know I'll need heavy help, or I'll straight up need the actual answers, because by the end. But but point is, I do care. But the answer, what I'm trying to say is that the answer to what's really happening is irrelevant to the battle between Battler and Beato. Battler and Beato have a completely separate battle, and that's basically, does magic exist or not? Or can the island murders be done without using magic? By only thinking of human ways of doing them. You know what I mean? Can they be done can it be done by a human? Can it be done by humans? That is the battle going between Battler, Battler, and Beato. Um, And that has nothing to do with the actual truth. Well, I mean, it does, but I mean, it's different from what I, as the reader, have been challenged. And I think that is what at least one commenter I saw, um, maybe misinterpreted what I said, or maybe they didn't. Maybe they understood what I was saying and still posted their comment, which is why, again, if they want to uh, write upon that comment and make it more clear, for me at least, maybe I misinterpret their comment, and that's the beauty of it. That's what Umineko's trying to say, to tell us, right? Isn't Umineko trying to tell us that, you know we don't always understand what the other person is saying, what other people are trying to do, or the motives of other people, which is why, instead of villainizing other people or going like, oh, this person said this, idiot, blah blah blah. Try to understand why they said it. Try to understand, okay, what are they saying? Can you make it more clear so that I can understand it, right? So the person that commented on my previous video, I'm sure they didn't mean any, any ill will. It was just feedback. It was just criticism that I absolutely accept. That is absolutely great. And now I've kind of responded to that, but I've also kind of but also keep it in mind that, okay, so that is the way you were thinking. But I also want to send it back in the way that, okay, have I misunderstood your comment? Have I misunderstood your criticism? And maybe I, haven't adequately responded to what you were saying. Um, then sure, go ahead. You know what I mean? Go ahead and let me know even more. Um, but yeah. Um, the most important thing I want to say though, before anything else, is that I do hope you guys have fun watching this at least, and as at least as much as I enjoy reading it, and that the discussions you guys have in the comments or whatever comments you put, and whether it's feedback or whether it's just a funny joke or whatever it is, can be literally anything, honestly. Even if it's a minor thing, even if it's just like a funny way I said a word, right? I could have said a word really funny. If you just comment, haha, you said word funny, dumb, I mean, whatever. I'll absolutely love that comment. Any comment I get is great for me. So absolutely, go ahead. Yeah, comment something funny. I don't really mind. Um, because we're here to have fun, and you know and I think all fish is supposed to be part of the fun, and I think that's great. I think if we're all having fun, and then it actually I think that is the most important part. I think more so I hope this is what the author was hoping for as well, is that for us while reading this visual novel, not only did the author want us to um this talk with read this visual novel and think things through and talk with each other. I'm sure he wanted us to talk with each other about what we think of the visual novel, what we think of what's going on and all stuff. But I'm sure that the author also thought of, just like how a lot of other authors think of, or at least I hope they do, and that is that I enjoy reading the story, right? I'm sure that the author, while writing this, was like, I want to make a story that people enjoy reading, people enjoy talking about, people enjoy being surrounded by the story. Because if you're not enjoying it, then what's the point? What's the point? Aren't I doing this for fun? I, what else am I gonna do this for, right? This isn't an obligatory thing for me that I have to do. It's not like I'm gonna write a friggin' although you could, to be honest, Umineko is that chunky. You could write a whole friggin' essay on it and multiple essays on it, honestly, on multiple different topics. Um, but that's not what we're doing here. We're just here to have fun. Although you could, if you think writing an essay about Umineko is fun, then do that too. That's great. Um, yeah, and that's really the main point here. Because whenever I reply to you guys' comments, right? Whatever, if you're never commenter or not, or you only comment once every 10 videos, whatever it is, maybe you never comment. Maybe you're only watching this, you're only hearing me talk about this. Maybe you're watching this long in the future, way after I post this video. It doesn't really matter. Um, but what matters is that when I respond, I always just try to respond in it from a good place, if that makes sense. As in, whatever the comment is, I try to respond with no hostility and with the aim that we can have a fun interaction. I guess a fun interaction, because that's what this is all about, having fun, right? So a lot of comments I can choose to respond in a joking manner, especially if the original comment is joking. Because I know there's some people, there's some commenters that are really funny that only post funny comments. They'll only post really funny well, sometimes they'll blend it in with serious comments, or serious talk about what's actually happening in the division level. But it'll be just a really funny comment about something I said, and that's great. That's very much appreciated. And then I'll reply with my own little, I say funny comment. I mean, the comment will be funny, and then my reply will be lame as hell and completely unfunny. But I'll still reply with it because, hey, I'm just there to have fun with it, just playing off of their funny comment with my lame comment, so that people can laugh at my lame comment and say how bad I am at making jokes, and then there you go. The world goes round, and we have fun. Um, and if it is a serious comment, as when I say serious, I mean more like it's a discussion of what's happening in the visual novel, and I reply to that with my own discussion, then yeah, I'll keep it serious, of course. I mean, I can add jokes in. I mean, jokes are always allowed. By the way, doesn't matter how serious it gets. You know what I mean? Just if you add a joke in there, bro. I think I just did I did a Game of Thrones. I did a Game of Thrones Lannister joke with Joffrey. If you guys know Joffrey, yeah, I can go that far with jokes. So, so, so if you're gonna joke about, go ahead. Even in serious things, just blending some jokes here and there. That's fine. Um, as long as you're having fun with it, then that's great. And discussions, I think, are great, especially when we disagree with each other. I think when we disagree with each other, it's even better because then we have even more fiery discussions, which is good because we all disagree with each other on some things because we all have different perspectives on things, and a lot of it is because we've grown up differently, we've seen different things, we've learned to think differently, and by understanding how each other we think, well, how each other thinks, I guess, we'll better understand why we think the way we do, but also we'll be able to we will to let's call it in gaming terms, upgrade our own thought to be better at thinking on our own and be better at understanding uh, um, you know, the way we should think to be in a way that is as to be how do I speak anymore, man? In a ways that benefits as many people as possible. Hopefully that made sense. In the most beneficial way, right? Um, hopefully that made sense. Um, anything else I needed to say regarding the shenanigans last part? Not really. Um, main point is that I really hope you guys know that I want you guys to have fun. I want you guys to have fun watching this, right? I'm here to have fun reading it. Um, so if you guys get in a heated discussion, call where if it's I'm now listen. I'm not going to remove any comments. Of course not. Of course, freedom of speech. You all say what you want, right? Unless it's a bot. Someone made a joking comment about how, oh, that's how the bots communicate. Nah, bro. If it's a bot, it's posting a scam link, and scam links is how they communicate. Nah, I don't care, bro. I'm removing that comment, okay? But don't worry, it's a bot. I mean, I have kept 100% of all human comments I've gotten on my channel. And I say 100% of all human comments. If it's vague whether it's a human or a bot, I keep it up. Just in case it is a human comment, because I would hate to be someone that silences other people. I do not want to silence you guys. Absolutely not. So whatever your comment is, even if your comment is like, Amin is a stupid idiot, actually that's a very accurate comment, so, and it's relevant, so go ahead and comment that. Actually, comment that right now. Amin is a stupid idiot. Watch, I will not remove that comment. If that comment is removed, if someone comments that and someone else can prove that someone commented that, and that comment in the future is found to be removed, I can guarantee you right now I did not remove that comment. Someone hacked my account or something and removed that comment, because I guarantee you I did not remove it. Challenge me right now. Type okay, maybe I shouldn't have said Am is a stupid idiot, because now I'm insulting myself. But you get the point, okay? You guys actually gonna comment Am is a stupid idiot, aren't you? God damn it. I should have said something else. Okay, yeah. But you know, I obviously don't want toxicity. but I mean, if it does end up being toxic, again, I won't remove the comments, right? I will keep the toxic discussions together. If you guys end up using, I mean, I want to say that'll ever get to that point, but if you guys end up using slurs against each other, if Umineko gets you guys so heated that you guys start using slurs against each other or something, I mean, I won't be removing your comments because I mean, freedom of speech, I guess. But come on, man, come on, man, lay off, lay off that, okay? I mean, I mean, I can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you what you probably should not do. Then you obviously it's your choice because I'm assuming we're all a bunch of mostly grown-ups. Don't what we're doing. We can't think. I don't know. 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 I trust you guys. I trust you guys anyway. Anyway, I do not have anywhere near a big a big enough following to be worried about it getting seriously toxic down there. And honestly, I guess that's for the best, to be honest. I guess that's for the best. I am not aiming for a bigger fan base at all. I actually I'm not hoping for any. I was never hoping for a fan base to begin with. So, quote I say fan base quote unquote. I mean I don't really know. Uh, More than anything, I guess I see you guys more as pals or companions or friends. Honestly, I say fan base. This is, I think that sounds dumb to say at this stage. Honestly, that sounds dumb to say at any stage almost. So, I mean, I guess not if you're a big musical artist or something like that, but you get the point. That is not what I'm aiming for at all. I do see you guys as just friends. I'm sure. I guess. Lovely strangers that enjoy the same thing that I do, and that is reading Umineko, which we shall get into right now because I think I'm done, quote unquote, ranting, and I think I've gotten my point across. And yeah, um, to recap last part, right before we recap last part, I do want to say that I have I'm obviously busy, so if I don't upload, I think I've said this before early, but I'm just gonna specify this once more time. If I am busy, so if I'm not able to upload exactly every day, I'm sorry. I'll try to upload as much as possible. Secondly, um, mm, oh yeah, I also got a suggestion from a commenter that told me that well, I mean that gave me a a website where I can go to read back on the archives of all the discussions that have happened so far in the question arcs. Now, I'm gonna not I'm gonna use that as little as possible, unless you guys really want me to use that a lot or something. I don't want to go back to reading previous portions of the story. I've already noted down the red and blue truths. So I feel like it's a lot of information right there, to be honest. And then off of that, I'm mainly going to think to work towards rem- making theories or making thoughts based on the things I remember, rather than going back and extensively spending time rereading things that were reread so far in the 4 episodes. But let me know if you guys want me to do things differently. Secondly, I want to make an announcement really quick before we start the recap, and that is I say announcement, but again, I'm gonna make a suggestion, and you guys can feel free to let me know if you guys want me to make things differently. So, what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna make this theory video, like I said, once I'm done with episode 4, which should be kind of soon. Who knows how soon? And once I'm done with episode 4, I'll be making this theory video, and that will be theory video part 1, because I'll release the theory video, and then on the comments of that theory video, I want you guys to, I'll obviously spend several hours planning and setting up the theory video before actually recording it and releasing it. So after I release it and put all my thoughts behind, and well, as much as I can, and everything behind that and all, I want you guys to comment on the theory video. Well, you don't have to, obviously. Do what you want. I say I want you guys to choose to do things free, like Conan and Jessica in episode 2, right? If you guys remember episode 2, when Jessica didn't ask Conan to be sitting next to her, She wanted Kano to do it out of his own free will, right? I want you guys to do things out of your own free will. I don't want you guys to be like Jessica and Kano, where Jessica had to ask Kano to sit next to her for Kano to sit next to her. That's not really fulfilling, right? So I'm never gonna ask you guys to like my videos or to subscribe to my channel or whatever it is, and I'm not gonna ask you guys of this either. But if you guys want to, under that theory video, just a suggestion, I'll do what you want after that. Um, I'm thinking of letting you guys give me any thoughts of the theory video that you think I should take up in the second theory video, because I'm gonna be making two theory videos. You know what I mean? The first one will be my personal in general theory videos, where I just go based on things that I've gone so far completely alone and independently. Then a second theory video where I take you guys' comments from the first theory video. So you guys, I'm sure you guys will give me comments of where you ask me, "Yo, Amin, can you talk about this specific thing that happened here?" Or maybe you talk about, "Yo, Amin, regarding what you said in minute 22 second 40, um, this and this and that, for example, you want to add something to that, and then you ask me a question. I'll respond to your comments in a second theory video, where I will go through your comments and then respond to them, and then etc. Right? So this is a suggestion I'm leaving out there because I think this will work out the best way. I realized that a lot of theories that I make through the help of you guys. I mean, how to put it? Uh, I don't need to explain, but through you guys asking me questions, I'm able to um I don't know. I don't know how to put it. I don't really know how to say it. But basically you guys help me understand what story is trying to say more, I guess, and I do appreciate that. It gives me a better scope of things without spoiling what's going to happen next, which is nice. Um And because of that, I want to give you guys room to speak if you so wish. You have absolutely no obligation to speak. I could get zero comments. In fact, if I get zero comments, of course I'll give you guys time between the first review and the second review. It's not like I'm gonna record the first three video, give you guys a day to watch the whole thing and reply and comment on it, and then make the second three video. Nah, I'm gonna give you guys several days, a while. Don't worry, I'm giving you guys a while to watch the video and then comment on it. Don't worry. You don't have to panic about me making the second one. Don't worry. Uh, give you guys a while uh, to just comment on that. In fact, if it becomes so bad, I could make the first three video, then start with episode 5, then make the second three video after I made sure that I got the comments from people that wanted to comment on the first three video. But hey, um, do what you want at the end of the day. And then this is just a suggestion, and you guys can let me know how I should do things. Okay, now I've talked for long enough. We can start this part of Umineko when they cry. Let's try to finish this chapter, however long we have left, to recap last part. Beato managed to force Battler to disappear by making Battler realize or learn that he's apparently not Ushiromiya Asume's son. And therefore he's not qualified to be her opponent, and if he's not qualified to be her opponent, then he just disappears then. Now, to be qualified to be Beato's opponent, you obviously have to be Kenzo's grandchild, which is something that is completely, well, should be not connected to being Asumi's child, unless Asumi is somehow directly related to Kenzo, blood related. Then kind of again a Game of Thrones reference, that joke that I made last part. But anyway, unless something like that is happening, it should be more proper to assume that yeah, Battery is Rudolph's child, which is Kenzo's child, and therefore Battery is qualified. There was no red truth or blue truth or anything like that going against Battle being Rudolph's child or Kenzo's grandchild directly specifically. It was only something to do with Asumi. The argument was basically because you're not Asumi's child, you should be Asumi's child, you're therefore not qualified because now you're not Kenzo's grandchild. Again, I feel like Battler can have a I feel like Battle can have an easy time debunking it. Perhaps if he just said that Rudolph is his dad, I think he probably can red truth himself out of it. But that would be in a way the same as admitting that um his mother is not his mother biologically, and or I mean his mother is not his mother basically. Whatever you're gonna say after that, which means that from Ishima Asumu I was born. That is not being fulfilled, which means, which is not what Battler wants for obvious reasons. Battler has a close attachment to his mother, and we know this because of the fact that he left the family for 6 years for her pride, right? So we know Battler obviously cares deeply about his mother. So Battler was obviously never he was never going to admit or just straight up be like, yeah, Awesome is not my mother so casually. Battler's going to have problems with that. Um. So yeah, Battler's now gone. Lambda Delta screaming after Battler, saying, "Battler, where are you?" And now we're here. I noticed Burn last part talked about how Lambda, this is favorable for Lambda because now she's getting her goal, which is for us to draw forever. But if the game is abandoned to begin with, then I guess we do draw forever anyway, technically in a way. So Lambda wins either way. But Lambda's shown multiple times to be distraught over this conclusion, and I wonder why. I wonder what Lambda has to say about this. Uh, Burn, in her turn, however, um, just became disappointed in me and was like, it's my fault for choosing someone that didn't have the qualifications in the first place. So Burn is disappointed in Battler. Beato is disappointed in Battler, and because he didn't remember his sin, and this a commenter is disappointed in me because similar to how these two disappointed in Battler because I well, I mean, I misworded things in the previous video that I could have said better. And I think we're caught up on that. Let's try finishing this chapter now. Yes. Why is Lambda so distraught over Battler being gone? If she wants to draw forever, then she's gonna achieve she's gonna achieve that. But otherwise, she's supposed to be on Beto's side anyway, right? So for Battle to disappear and for Beto to abandon the game or well, with a winning edge, isn't that maybe perhaps a good thing for Lambda? I don't know, but it should definitely be a worse thing for Burn because that's a piece she bet on, and Angie's gone too now. I mean, she's not gone; she's just been kicked off by Berto. So I wonder where Angie is, and I wonder what Burn is gonna do from here on out. All right, let's keep reading though.
これで対戦相手は消えたな。それではこれで今日らも旅支度を整えられるがよい。我が領地にてもう何も催しは予定されていない。
And ladies, you should prepare for your journey. So no tea party this time. No banquet. Not like episode 3. We're done.
それではごきげんよう。さらばだ。
Goodbye, she says. Okay, bye, Beato. Without saying anything more, Beato clouded her own form in darkness as well and disappeared.
あんた、これでいいわけ？バトラ、消えちゃったわよ。負けず嫌いのあんたがこの結末でいいわけ？あんたは私の負けに張ってたんでしょ？なら万々歳じゃない。おめでとう、ラムダ。じゃあ、またどこかの世界で会いましょう。
I kind of see where Bernie's coming from. Why is Lambda so against this?
まあ、無限のかけら世界のこと。どこかでまたご縁がある確率は、それこそ1000兆分の1よりも少ないでしょうけれど。
So she's going back to how me being the Ushiro batter is a chance of 1 in a quadrillion. She's saying the probability of us having some connection once again somewhere is probably truly less than 1 in a quadrillion. And finding the correct battle is also a 1 in a quadrillion chance. What is it with these low chances of NU witches? This is why multiple world fragments are problematic, huh?
じゃあね。楽しかったわ。バイバイ。
Bye bye. So next time Burn meets Lambda in another world fragment, it might not be this Lambda. It's probably just going to be a completely separate Lambda. Okay.
待ってよベル。
Chasing after Burn Castle, who had disappeared first, Lambda Delta disappeared as well. Good luck finding her. If the chances truly are 1 in quadrillion, good luck. But you're witches, so maybe you can deny that. Then after everyone had disappeared, there was no one left in the study. That's a joke. Watch, Ronov is about to come up. Watch. No? No Ronove? It returned to silence, almost as though no one had been there from the beginning. No one was here in the first place. The silent study told of that wordlessly, and the sound of the wind and rain began to fill the room bit by bit. Okay. In a world where everything had sunk into darkness, Beato questioned herself.
やはり
Oh, not
魔
this,
法は
not
初め
this,
から
not this soundtrack again. Melting away.
マリアージュソルシエ
It's
ー
the
ル
baby.
の中だけで使うべきであった
It's the standpoint, baby. From the standpoint, it's the baby talking. The fact is, from the very beginning, magic should only have been used within Mariage Sorcière. What are you on about? But aren't there more magic users than the ones within Mariage Sorcière? What are you on about, Beato? Although we haven't seen if Burn and Lambda count in Mariage Sorcière, we haven't seen magic users aside of that. You're right. The more I think about it, there have been talks of magic existing outside of Rockingham now, but we haven't really seen magic users outside of what's related to Rockingham and outside of what's related within Mariage Sorcière. Western magic? Eastern magic? We've heard rumors about it, but we've never really seen it, unlike how we've seen the one in Rockingham specifically. What does she mean by this? Mariage Sorcière. I feel like there's so many more... I feel like there's so many more magic users than the ones within Mariage Sorcière. So unless I'm reading this wrong, is she trying to say that... Is she trying to say that magic users only exist within Mariage Sorcière? And if magic is being used from outside Mariage Sorcière, does that mean that one of us humans or plebeian furniture or whatever it is we are manage to use magic as well?
そうだね。マリアもエンジェの時にそう思ったよ。
魔女同盟はわらわとそなたその二人で始めた
The Witches Alliance. Are there no other witches if magic is only supposed to be used between you two and the Alliance?
他のものを混ぜようというのはそもそもの間違いであったのだ
Mixing in other people is the first mistake. Yes, okay, fine. But you're telling me other witches and stuff don't exist? If magic was only supposed to be used between you two? Or maybe they do exist but can't use magic? How does that work?
こんなにも楽しいからマリアたちはその輪に親しい誰かを加えたかったよね。そうして魔女同盟がどこまでも大きくなってみんなで楽しく魔法が使えて幸せになれたらと願った。
だが魔法を理解できるのはやはりわらわとそなたの二人だけだった。
私たちは奇跡が巡り合わせたこの世界でたった二人しかいない魔女なんだよ。
Brought together by miracle?
マリアはもうベアとさえいれば他には誰もいらないよ。
わらわもだ。
Beato's crying here.
そなたさえいればもう もいらぬ。
Or maybe I should say she's tearing up. I don't need anyone else. What? But what? Wait, so what happened to Maria in her test? I guess she succeeded her test and became the next head? Isn't that what Kinzo said? Kinzo said Maria did well on her test. Fantastic. Can't wait to see her as the next head soon. She's too young now, but she's gonna be the next head. Does that mean she succeeded, became the next head, and is now just with Beator? Because everyone else disappeared? So it's just her and Beator remaining? These are the only two people alive remaining? Everyone else just disappeared or just went away?
マリアージュ・ソルシエールは結成したその一番最初の時点でもう完成していたんだよ。
そうあるな、まさにそうであるな。
Huh? Whoa, it's a beautiful garden. Where is this? Is this also in the Hidden Mansion? It doesn't seem like this place is the Hidden Mansion. Well, it seems like it is the Hidden Mansion, but it seems like it's a Hidden Mansion that's distorted. It was a witch's alliance to make everyone happy together with magic. I wonder when it got this screwed up. Because if you look at things here, this looks like it's somewhere in the Hidden Mansion, but everything's so distorted. Look at the sky. And look at the golden butterflies. It seems like a distorted, like a distorted hidden mansion or whatever. What was I trying to do when I started this game? I can't really remember even that. You're crazy, you're dumb. How could you remember? No, I may remember, but that's a feeling I now wish to throw away to the far side of oblivion.
いいよ。何もかも忘れてしまおう。二人だけのマリアージュ・ソルシエール。私たちは互いを認め合う。そして誰にも傷つけられない。だからもう傷つかない。泣かない。
Umineko, when they cry, we won't cry. Okay.
すべて忘れよう。ね、ベアと。
すべて。
私たちは永遠だよ。
We are eternal. Okay. Eternal witches, endless witches.
マリア。
I think this is the first time I've ever seen Beato cry. But what could it be that has got her this much in her feelings? I obviously don't understand why she's crying. I feel like if I did understand, I'd be more emotional than I currently am, but... I mean, either way, it's good for me. Well, because when I say I'd be more emotional than I currently am, I'd be even more happy that she's crying! Idiot! Keep crying! That's right. That's right. Battler may have disappeared, but we got AW in the end. Berto's sad, and whenever she's sad, we're happy. The more sad she gets, the better. I hope Mari... Okay. I don't hope Mari disappears. I hope Mari goes away, and Mari has a happy life. And Berto becomes even more sad, because now she's left alone by Maria. But okay, Berto's crying. Are you serious? That's in the chat. Are you serious? The world 12 years later. Monochrome clock. Journey's endpoint. This soundtrack is crazy, bro. This jazz is awesome.
天草、それ切ってくれる？
October 1998. Angie's finally close to arriving at the island, and she's asking Amakusa to turn something off. We've read the end of the chapter now, but hey, the soundtrack though, we've heard it once before, but hearing it again is awesome, yo. This jazz is... I've said this before, I'll always say this again. This soundtrack is banging. Okay, I don't know what chapter we're on now, but we gotta be closer to the end now. It seems like we're finally done with the island island bit of of episode 4, right? Everyone's dead and it's all over. Now we're just gonna finish Angie's bit, maybe find out some couple of things here before we end it, and then keep part of episode 4. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know how much left we have, but yeah, I think I'm gonna end it there. I did not know we were this close to finishing the chapter. I did say that the aim for this part was to finish that chapter, and we did. I did not know we were only like 5 minutes away, so basically spent almost an hour of this part just talking and 5 minutes actually reading, so that's kind of unfortunate. I'm sorry. Next time we'll make more progress. I can tell you guys right now, we will make more progress, because I will not have, I definitely won't have this much to say at the start of next video. So yeah, thank you to all the people who helped make the video where I solve for the quadratic formula, the third most viewed video on my channel, almost the second most viewed video on my channel for some reason. It's gotten over 600 views, 680 views. Absolute insanity. I don't know why. None of my Umineko videos or any of the videos has gotten, well, most of the videos haven't gotten that many views. I don't know why. The camera quality is horrible. All I'm doing is just the quadratic formula, so sure, I guess thank you. If you watched that video as well, thank you. I don't know, whatever. Cool. But yeah, okay. Anyway, we're done with the Umineko now. I'm off to sleep. I'm gonna drink some water and then I'll go to sleep. So I hope you guys enjoyed this part of Umineko when they cry. I'll see you guys next time. And I don't know how many chapters we have remaining, but we're close to being done here. So yeah, I'll see you guys then. Alright, y'all. Sorry for a lot of babbling this part. I know I said I was gonna stop babbling a lot, during parts. I know I made that whole vow thingy, but I think this will allow. All right, guys. Next part, don't worry, we'll make progress. But this is one of those that was very very important, and we had to allow. But again, let me know if you guys didn't like this and wanted me to do it differently. I don't know. Okay, but yeah, I'll see you all next time. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching this at least as much as I enjoyed reading it. And yeah, all right, y'all. Peace.